Hello, my name's Artemis, and of course we all love fursuiting in this fandom. It is a big part of it. It is one of the biggest parts of it, because you can be soft and cute and fluffy and hot and fucking in pain and uncomfortable and annoyed and tired and thirsty and kind of getting a headache. And it's a great, wonderful thing to fursuit, but there's a lot of shit that goes with it that we fucking hate. And I decided to make a list of that because I'm sure other fursuiters are going to look at this list and be like, yeah, he right. He fucking right. Let's get into it. We're going to get the obvious one out of the way nice and early. It's hot. There's heat. It's very warm. And it's always much warmer than you think. It's a hot thing, and we hate that. Like, if we could have magically air-conditioned fursuits, that'd be great, but even the good fixes that we have are never really quite enough to make it a really comfortable thing. And then, especially this time of year in the summer, where you're like, oh, it's so beautiful out there, let's go and take photos, and you step out the front door like, fuck that. Jesus, just green screen me against the beach. I'm then going down there, fuck it. It's a fucking endurance challenge. You almost have to go and work out and train to be in a fucking fursuit this time of year, and it sucks. Fursuits are bulky as shit, whether it's a full digisuit or even just a partial with a head. Either way, it's bulky, it's fragile, it's annoying to transport. You've got to get a bigger case, you've got to carry it around, you've got to lug it around, and it's just a pain in the ass. It's not something that you can just sling on your back and be done with. And even then, when you get to the place, when you've done the travel and you've fucking hauled this massive case around, then you've got to get into the thing and you can enjoy yourself, but then you're all bulky again and it's hard to fucking see. It's hard to walk. It's hard to move through doorways because you're so bulky and trying to get through the woods and stuff for a photo shoot. You can't see anything because there's trees there, and normally you can fit between the trees, but now you're bulky and there's so much bulk and it's so annoying and fucking hell. It's cute, it's lovely, it's wonderful until you're actually in it, and then you're like, oh man, I can't fucking move for shit. Now, we all know that they're fucking expensive, but that's not exactly the point I'm trying to make. I mean, sure, we'd love free fursuits, but we also like to support artists, and we should still be supporting artists, so I'm not saying they should be lowering their prices. What I'm saying is there's a hell of an extra cost associated with it, with everything when you're fursuiting. You got to pay for an extra bag when you're traveling, or you got to pay for an extra case. You've got to pay for maintenance and supplies, and you've got to pay for this and pay for that, and accessories and cooling vests, and it's just a never-ending fucking thing. And then, you know, oh, I need to repair it. Oh, I need to replace it. Oh, this is worn down because they don't last forever. Money, 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 money. And it's almost like you're just never really finished with it. It's always an ongoing process. And sometimes you're just like, when is it done? When can I just enjoy it, please? There is always a better suit. There is always something that you want to do better on your next fursuit. There is always something about your fursuit that you don't quite like. That it's a bit heavy, that this isn't right, that's not right, the lighting doesn't work, I want a fan in it. It's a different type of fur than I want to change the design. There's always something else to think of. And every time you get an amazing suit, there's so many suit makers out there that you see another one that's all so sexy and it's so amazing and, oh, I want to get a suit from them. And suddenly you're not quite happy with what you've got. You're comparing it to someone else and just being like, oh, well, I want my new one to be like that. And it never fucking ends. This is why people end up with like 4 different versions of the same character, because they won't stop tweaking designs, for God's sake. It's so easy. It's so easy to just be like, oh, I want a new one. I want a better one. I'm jealous of you. I fucking get that. I'm jealous of the fursuiters. I've been partial for years now. The weight is something that cannot be changed, but it's still something that fucking sucks. If you win the lottery today and get yourself a fursuit slot, it is still like 6 months to a year to 18 months away. There is no fast track option. There's no money fix for this. It takes as long as it takes, and there are queues in place. And even when you finally save up the money to get one, you know, you're still a long way from actually wearing one. And that wait is difficult. That wait is stressful. That wait is just... it sucks. The FOMO increases. You see people first saying like, oh, I will be doing that soon, but I want to do it now. And it fucking sucks. And then you got to wait for opportunities to use it. You got to wait for furcons, wait for people to be available, wait for this, wait for that, wait for it to be delivered. The waiting sucks, and it just feels like such a waste of time, but it is unavoidable. Let's be honest, not everybody who spends money on this thing is going to be happy that they did. It can have that element of buyer's remorse. Not everybody's going to use this fursuit as much as they feel like they should. And some people will even get this fursuit and realize, I don't quite enjoy this as much as I thought I would. And I don't really want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with the bulk and traveling it around and then have to get in suit and be hot and bothered. Not everybody's going to feel that way. And sometimes you do feel a little bit like, wow, wasted a lot of time and money on this thing and I'm barely using it. Ugh. And even then, even if you have the great suit and everything, the accessories can look great. You can have a massive tail, massive wings, And then you still get the buyer's remorse of like, yeah, it looks great in a photo shoot. It's an absolute pain in the fucking ass to deal with though. Huge nightmare. And I feel like a lot of people don't really want to admit this one, but I've seen people who I'm very much like, you probably could have done without getting that fursuit, couldn't you? Because I don't think you really enjoy it. So this is something that you can easily avoid with like a partial suit like I have, but body size becomes a problem when you have a bodysuit because the second you make that DTD, you've got to make sure that you stay the same size as that DTD. And that's very fucking difficult. Like, I've ballooned in weight and I've lost weight in my life a lot. I am a lot bigger now than I was when I started fursuiting, as I'm sure you can all see. And if I had a bodysuit when I started, I would not be wearing that today, would I? And it's a good incentive to try and stay thin, but people fluctuate in their body size, shape, and weight. And when you have a bodysuit which is nicely fitted, you're locked into that. I've seen people gain weight and make their fursuit unwearable. And I feel for them because it's a big thing. It's an amazing suit that they want to get in, they want to go in fursuit, but they can't zip it up. And it's just, oh, God, there's no easy fix for that. You got a couple of months of trying to lose weight before you can maybe see some results. And it's awful. And it's more time waiting. Again, us partial fuckers are lucky with that. But, I mean, we're also missing out on being fluffy. And we want to be fluffy. People are always going to be something that we fucking hate, but it's even worse when you're in fursuit. Sometimes all you want to do is take photos and be fluffy. Sometimes all you want to do is just mess around, but everything is so much more difficult, especially when people get in the mix. It's hard to communicate with them. It's hard to get your point across. It's hard to really trust them because you got no idea how people are going to act with you in suit. I've been around drunk people where I've been like, oh, how do I diffuse this situation? I've been around priests in the woods in fursuit, like, oh shit, are they going to baptize me? There is so much to worry about when people become part of this mix, and sometimes you just don't want to fucking deal with it. I just wanted to come out and be a fucking dog. Why do I suddenly have to be a mascot? Why do I suddenly have to be an ambassador for the fucking fandom? Can you just fuck off and leave us alone? The dexterity that you lose when you put on a fursuit fucking sucks. Like, trying to do anything with paws, and especially claws, is fucking impossible. Using your phone, using a camera, setting something up, moving a tripod, doing this, doing that. Fucking difficult. Now I'm lucky I have finger escapes in these beans so that I can stick my finger out and use my phone. Aren't I fucking lucky? I would be lost without that. I really would. And even then, these are still big and puffy and padded and plush and difficult still to use and move around with. And so's your entire body, so's your feet, for God's sake. Now, as somebody who has worn massive plush fluffy slippers his entire life, I'm very used to walking around with big plush things on my feet. So I was very easy to adapt to wearing feet paws, but a lot of people aren't, and suddenly you're kicking the sides of couches and door frames. You're not able to walk properly. You're tripping up all the time because you've lost that pedal dexterity, and it's difficult, and it's a pain in the ass, and it makes people just feel like, oh God, it's so much effort. I don't know if I want to do this anymore. I mean, you do, but goddamn, there's so much that goes into it. And of course, the pressure to suit up. I mean, we wait so long for these things. It's such a long time frame, and it's very few and far between that we get the opportunity to suit up and be a big fluffy animal, that when you do have that opportunity, you're almost doing it just out of obligation. Just, I guess I should. I guess I have to. I won't have this opportunity again, so I better do it now. And it almost becomes a chore. It almost becomes something you don't want to actually do. You just do it because everybody else is. And then you feel guilty. It's like, well, I'm not suiting up enough. They're all suiting up more than me. I should be doing more. I wish I was doing more. I wish I was having a good time like they're doing. And it always seems like everybody else is going out to these amazing photo shoots and you're not. And it doesn't matter how many you actually go to. You just feel like you're left behind with it and everyone else is doing stuff with it and you're not. And oh, I should be doing more. Pressure, 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 pressure. And that sucks. It's almost like you can't fully enjoy it because you're not fully enjoying it. It's a paradox. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this, not to try and put people off the idea of fursuiting, but let's be honest, in all the things that we enjoy, there are things about them that we don't enjoy, and this is certainly a list of some of those things. I still very much enjoy fursuiting, but I'm dying right now. I am a hot, sweaty mess because I've been filming a lot today, and I could do with not dying right now, and that's just one of the many things that comes with it. It's wonderful, it's lovely, but it has its arse aches that come with it that we would all rather be without. But hey, at least we can just spout them off and turn it into content. Yay, content. But if you did enjoy this video and you would like to help support this channel, look at my feet. Look at my paws. Look at my feet and my paws. You can do both on this lovely couple of websites where you can see exclusive stuff. Weird thing to segue to, but fuck it. Look, I made an animated graphic for this shit, so you know I'm going to push it. Maybe look at the merch as well and see about treating yourself to something, which coincidentally treats me as well. That would be lovely. Please do. And if you would just like to help support us continuing to exist as an entity in this world that has life, then Patreon is there as well, with various tiers that get you various rewards and can be really fun and cool shit to have a look at and exclusive stuff. So yeah, give it a look, give it a go, help keep me alive. Thank you. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you all next week. Bye.